Welcome back to another vlog. Today I thought I'd talk about something that a lot of people, or not that way, a lot of people, but I get asked always when I talk about comics I like, and it's interesting that so many people are more interested in comics that are bad, but not really interested in good comics. Why do I say this? Because some feedback I got was from people who said I should really think about doing the same that other people do when they talk about comics, because it's boring to talk about good comics, but why should I talk about bad comics? Because like I said, everyone does it, and so yeah. But what makes a bad comic a bad comic? Does it mean the comic is coherently bad, or does it mean just I find it bad? And at this point, I have to address one thing. Maybe it's just me, but I never had really a bad, or I nearly never read a really bad comic. I read a comic that I didn't like, but does this make a bad comic in some way? Actually, I don't believe it. What do I mean with that? I forgot the name of this comic, but I think a few months ago, I saw a comic that on Tapas that really intrigued me at first sight. It was a kind of how to put it, a comic about characters in a multiplayer role-playing game and or online game. And yeah, I really didn't think a lot about it. Just started reading it, and this was the first time I would consider a comic really bad, because the idea to have two main characters that were both are really assholes was what intrigued me at this case. Like I said, I don't know the name of it, so sorry if you try to find it, if this sounds interesting to you. But yeah, this was the idea behind it, was that these two characters just go around being assholes to everyone they find, but when they first met each other, it's like they really match each other, and kind of the idea is that they in some way I think end with each other. I don't get it. I don't know, because I have really early stopped reading this comic because the characters were assholes. Let's put it this way: that wasn't the problem I had with it, because I think that this was the main idea behind it. But for me, the comic was very slow, and the characters were real assholes. There were nothing really relatable at it, and the problem I had with it was that these two weren't, how to put it, anti-heroes or something like that. Let's take a character everyone knows, or knows now in so many ways, Deadpool. He's an asshole. He's an anti-hero in so many ways, but the way he is written is absolutely it's fun. It's one of the really few mainstream comic book heroes in a broad sense that I really kind of enjoy, because they do so many things. You can do so many things with this character. But yeah, coming back to the other one, what makes from in this case, like I said, there was nothing that really spoke to me, and so I really quickly dropped it, because the characters, like I said, were pure assholes. There was nothing I really liked about them, and this was something I think was the first time I really consider talking about a comic that is bad in the sense, because if there is nothing that will pull you in, then something is wrong with your comic in so many ways. But then again, maybe it's not that the comic itself is bad, but maybe it's because the comic isn't for me personally. Maybe I just don't get the characters, but other people get them. So yeah, I never really talked about this because, again, what makes a bad comic a bad comic? I mean, we have a lot of bad movies, but again, there's the same. Some movies are called bad, but only because they are done in a very bad way, and but were they really intended this way? Or I don't know if you can follow me what I want to say. It's a little bit hard, but for me, even if someone, even if the end result isn't something everyone enjoys, I believe there are a lot of people out there that enjoy even the bad stuff. So does it really mean talking about something that maybe is that maybe some people enjoy is yeah, is it really worth it, or is it really, do you really want to talk smack about something that you might not enjoy? So yeah, this is one of the reasons. I know this sounds very in some way very cliche or very stupid what I'm saying, but I'm someone who doesn't really waste time watching or reading stupid things or bad things, because when I start something, mostly I just yeah, if I don't like it, I just stop reading it, and so yeah, why should I like I said, why should I yeah, why should I waste time really reading something and talking about something I really don't enjoy? And like I said, maybe it's just me personally who doesn't enjoy it, but a lot of people will enjoy it. So yeah, I never really talk about bad things because I personally don't know what is bad. Like I said, I know this sounds stupid for so many ways, but yeah, this is one of the reasons. I just I really like to talk a little bit more about good comics, because the second thing, if you look out there are so many people just talking about bad stuff and giving the bad stuff credit. I mean, let's think about this for a moment. Someone talks about something that is in his eyes or her eyes a bad thing. It's a bad movie, it's a bad comic, it's a bad story, it's everything, or it doesn't matter what it is, and they tell you how bad it is. They want to show how bad it is, and they start making they start advertising this. You have to think about it. They advertise the bad stuff, and people really start going on to the bad stuff. One crazy example that really still I really don't believe how this happened is The Room from Tommy Wiseau. I mean, that is a bad movie. Maybe he hasn't intended. I don't think he has intended to be a bad movie. But yeah, everyone is talking about this movie. This was it got it got famous. I don't want to know how much money he did in the aftermath of it. After so many people talked about it, there was even they even did a movie about this one. So yeah, they made in quotes a bad director, bad movie, famous. People watch this, but they don't. They search for again, in quotes, bad stuff, and there are so many good stuff out there from people who really deserve to be seen, that people just think, okay, that's good, but I want to see the bad stuff, because people can talk so much more about bad stuff, and it's much more fun watching people just are getting pissed off about bad stuff, and on one hand, I'm absolutely fine with it. Even I am. Even I watch videos where people talk about bad stuff. Oh, don't get me wrong. I think I mean, let's face it. Even I did videos where I talk about bad stuff. My 1 to 2 Euro challenge, where I really checked the very curious and interesting stuff. But yeah, they overlook the really great stuff out there, and that was the first idea why I did my videos in this way, because I just wanted to talk about more about good stuff. I wanted to be a little bit different than everyone out there. So yeah, and again, it's very sad that that people still say I would do a lot better if I talk about bad comics, but there are so many people out there who do that. Again, sorry if I'm repeating myself. So yeah, again, you won't. There is nothing really bad I have read, so to speak. So yeah, what is there to talk about that? I'm normally not really reading stuff that I'm not interested. And this brings us. I just wanted to talk about this at the beginning, because the main thing I wanted to talk about in this case was something that I always that's the second part I always get asked so many times, and that is, why or what is my problem with all these mainstream comics, especially main Marvel and DC? Because every time when when I talk with someone who knows about comics and loves comics, there's always this discussion always goes in this direction that yeah, when I love a character so much, and when I'm so happy about deep storylines and so on, why do I don't read these storylines about these superheroes and their enemies, because they're deep and so on? And I will say something that I think a lot of people will be pissed off. I know that, and I'm really sorry if so many people will shake their heads about this. But how to put it? I don't hate the DC stuff. I don't hate the Marvel stuff. I just think most of the stories, most of the characters, most of the worlds are absolutely amazingly boring. Not really coherent, not really interesting to follow, and yeah, that's one of the reasons I never really will really like talking about them. Now, before you say something, I really tried. One of the first comics I really read were some. I really can't tell you which one there were some old Spider-Man comics, and I think of some old X-Men comics I once got when I was younger. And one thing I didn't quite like at the beginning were that even if you got so many different comics, that they created so many different worlds, they rebooted the world so often, they got so many characters, that at some point it was just, in my eyes, just too much. They didn't. Yeah, you have your standalone where they're concentrated on specific characters. Then they did crossovers and so on. I think over the time, most of the big name, really of the big name comic book stories and heroes just went away. That even if they used new writers, even if they used new storylines, they rebooted it, they did the thing with the parallel worlds. At some point, I just think it was too much. I mean, how many times can you tell the same origin story just with slight difference, just from a different angle. Even if you go out there and let's say you talk about you take different writers, it will still always be the same freaking story. You won't change the story. You really don't do it. It's the same. If you take let's say you take it to the Batman story. How many times do you want to tell how his parents died? I mean, if you want to change something up, then maybe leave. I mean, this is something everyone knows. Everyone, even my parents know how this story goes, and why do we have to tell this story so often again? And I mean, even we have the Spider-Man story. He gets bitten and so on. He gets the powers. Even if there are variations of that, mostly these variations get dumped at some point, and we get back to the normal origin story everyone knows. And this is something I really, on some level, I really find interesting and boring at the same time, because it's boring because it's happening so often. We so often get reboots, and I'm not talking about the movie. That's another a totally another part. That so many movies get so many stories get rebooted in the movies again and again, and we always get slightly variations, but it's still the same. I'm not really a fan, because I'm more the fan if take something and make something new of it. If you have this character, then maybe don't do what you can do. Let's put it this way: why do we have to tell the origin story? Okay, I know I'm just harping about the origin stories, but that's just one example. So bear with me in this case. Why do we have to tell the origin stories so many times? I mean, even if we let's do it some way. Let's jump from the comics to the movies, just as an example. What I mean, because here we don't have so many stories in this case. Let's say the following: we go there and. How many Spider-Man movies do we have at the moment? I'm not really sure, and always and also the Batman movies. Even if I really enjoyed the last the Dark Knight and so on, some of them, if you tell the origin story so many times, you just lose it. You just waste time, a lot of time in this case. Why don't the creators not just jump over some parts and just do what a superhero movie is? Just jump into the action. Maybe you can do something like an origin story later. I know why they do it. They want to show it to new people who never have read these stories or never know about these stories. But on the other hand, if you think about it, if you go out there and just jump into it, I think a lot of people, I would say a lot more people would enjoy it, because it's just getting to the fun. We're just starting with the fun parts, and not just go into again another origin story, how they mope, how they do it. It's let's come back to the fun again. Let's stop moping about people who are gone. Let's stop moping. Let's don't think about too much about how these characters came to be, how they struggled. Let's go back to the really fun parts, because if you face it, one very great example, even if we laugh today about it, and even I think when I saw it the first time, the very first the Adam West Batman series, heck, was a lot of fun. I know the series now looks very, very stupid in comparison to the high budget dark ones today, but that was a comic. I mean, that was a comic series. everyone had fun watching it. It was, we didn't had a big origin story. We just had this hot mess of story, and we enjoyed it. And I really believe that even today, a lot of us really enjoy these stories. Don't deny it. I would say many of you really checked that out and really enjoyed it. I'm 100% sure with it. Even if a lot of people say, "Oh God," yeah, I believe a lot of people like this series. And yeah, like I said, we don't need only moping characters about yeah, the death of parents or what happens. I want to see the fun stories with it, and this is why I have so many problems with the with the whole comics today. It's not because I hate them. No, that's not, because we only get the same story told so many ways. Yeah, sometimes we get zombies, sometimes we get something else, but so many times we get let's face it. How many times was there parallel worlds? How many times were there some kind of world eaters in there? How many times did the main characters pissed each other off, went on a spree or something, or fought each other because of their belief, or their beliefs were so different? Yeah, how many times did that happen? And mostly when it happened, at some point they rebooted everything just to get back to the status quo. Then they changed again something, and so on and so on. And yeah, sorry, it's at some point, even if you, like I said, even if you try to change everything, I just think it doesn't work that great. I know, like I said, a lot of people say I have really no clue what I'm talking about, and there's so much more, but that's the next problem. Yes, there is so much more. But let's go back again. If you want to, the people who say there is so much more, how much more is there? How much have you to revisit to be on a level to understand so much things that happen now? Because there are so many, because the creators want to be there for new fans and old fans, so they bring a lot up what old fans know, but maybe new fans don't really get. So many inside jokes and so on. And this is also a part that can backfire in so many ways, because as a new fan, you at some point, because they want to cater more to the old fans, they really start, how to put it, overdo it with the old stuff, and this is the part where you really get this gets really problematic, because then the new fans start or want to know what's going on, so they start to read on in the back, in the old issues, the old stories, and then they start seeing how huge these universes are, and this. Yeah, this is a big problem, because these huge universes. Yes, I know this is great, and people really liked, and this is a really and I am, just to get this straight, I'm not doing or saying that this wasn't a huge success and a huge work of art to create something this big and keep it on float this long, even if they change so many stuff. But yeah, at some point this can really get problematic. So I would say, or what I want to say is, I really would love to see more stories from, let's say this way, I would come back to the main stories and main characters these mainstream characters, but for me the more. It would be more interesting just to get there and go back to or read more of these just standalone stories where I don't need some crossover from characters I don't know, or some how to put it, just some flashbacks to something that happened at some point. Just be it more standard. Just give us more standalone stories. Give us something. Give us stories that you can read, but without getting too much into all these in this really back history. If someone wants to know them, then make separate stories about them. So that's, in my eyes, the best way to do it. Make separate stories that have nothing to do with each other, that can build in the same world with the same characters, but don't let them interact to each other too much, and just let them be who they are. I like I said, I know this is a very dumb idea for what I have, and a lot of people will hate what I just said, but it's really my honest opinion. I don't like most of the mainstream comics because they are just too big. The worlds are just got too big, and there are just too few standalone stories that you really can follow as someone who is new to the world and just enjoy for what they are, for what the characters are. Go don't do too much dark stuff. I mean, at some point the dark stuff is just getting it's just getting too much, and you will lose a lot of people also with this one, because comics should be fun. Go back to just check out some of the really old comics, and you will see what I mean. They mostly were just absolutely crazy, and it's just insane. There were so many insane comics in the past. I'm not saying they hold up, so don't get me wrong. There is a sheer number of comics that again are bad on a level, but I don't think they are really bad. I know I'm really sorry if this is something a lot of people can't really. I know a lot of people won't or can't follow my ideas, my thoughts in this case. I'm like I said, I'm not mad at this. I just have an own. My thoughts are all over the place in so many ways. So yeah, just let me be, and let me be pissed. Let me be the comical pissed off person. Let's put it this way. In so many ways. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like these kind of people who just talk smack about things they don't have. They don't know what they talk about. Like I said, I have nothing against the comics, and this is just something. And believe me when I say, I'm really to all the comic creators who did all these really big stuff. They are and were amazing. Just to come up with all this stuff. Everyone who started these stories, everyone who really created these stories, be it someone like Stan Lee, be it someone like Rob Liefeld, who's more a joke in this whole category. They all did really. They did something. I think I can't do it. I'm not really creative. I never would come up with these stories, and so. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying what they do is something I could recreate or something. All these stories, all the work the people put into these stories, it's amazing. They really do an amazing job. So just to get this out of the way, like I said, I'm not someone who's just talking smack about them. It's really just I'm I'm not the person who I'm not really the person who these comics are created for. These comics are created for so many other people, but not for me. And again, if you love these comics, don't let someone else tell you that. Don't let someone tell you that's bullshit or something, because that is not. You love something someone else don't like, but this doesn't mean that this other person is wrong or right. He has just a different taste, different opinion to this whole situation. So yeah, that's my, like I said, I'm really, it's just these comics are not for me. They have so many things I don't really enjoy, and yeah, I really enjoy I really enjoy more these new kind of comics, new stories, and not just safe stories. Because this is also something I have a problem. This is, well, let's put it this way. This is one of the last thing I will tell about these mainstream comics. One thing or I don't know how if this is something that always happens or just that I see it more now. One other problem I have with mainstream comics is the situation that a lot of them are political. I don't want to talk a lot about politics and so on, because it's so much things that happen there that I don't want to talk about. I'm not someone who follows. I follow the news and so on, and I know what's going on in the world, but I don't want to be one of these people who just who follows this everything. It's not for me. So let's put it this way, and this is something I quite don't like if a comic that I read for enjoyment, for distraction, gets into the politics, and many mainstream comics do that today. It's not you don't buy a comic to just shut up, to just have a little bit fun time, because a lot of times there is so much political stuff going on in these stories that you are just sitting there and thinking, boy, why did that just had to happen? I don't want to be reminded about all this crazy stuff that's going on out there. And this is why I also this is not something general only for mainstream comics. This is happening everywhere, also in indie comics and so on, that the authors and the creators start with bringing their political view into these stories, and that's something really I have a really big problem with, because it's not that I say they shouldn't do that. Let's put it this way, but like I said, I don't want to be reminded about all this stuff happening out there, because we are living at the moment. We are living in a world that so much bullshit is going on that I just don't want to think of it. When I read a comic, when I play a game, when I watch a movie, I just want to have fun. I don't want to be reminded of all this shit going on today. I know a lot of people won't understand that, but yeah, that's just my view. I just want to have fun today. I'm just not interested in all this bullshit. Again, I know a lot of people say that this is something you should be aware about this and so on. You should read it. I should care about this. I care a lot about specific things, but when I read comics, when I watch movies, I don't want to be reminded about this. And so most of the times when when I see a comic that gets too political, I drop it. Again, to the first part, I said in this video that this doesn't make the comic bad. It just makes it not for me anymore. And also not saying that it's a bad thing bringing politics into a story. Don't get me wrong, because sometimes you need to do it if you're writing something and want to show how specific things work in the way, you need to put in there you need to put some politics in there. But I think a lot of you know what I mean when I say if you start if the comics start to get too realistic in some way, then it's getting too. Then I think it's too much, and this is something I don't need in so many ways. So yeah, that's just. But again, it's just my. It's just my view on so many things out there. So yeah. This is what I wanted to say about comics. I know I think I said a lot that didn't or doesn't make sense, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about these things I really don't like about mainstream comics, and like I said, why I don't like to talk about bad stuff, because again, I don't think bad stuff is coherently bad stuff. Yeah. First, the creators didn't attempt to create something bad. If it's something, because even if the most or the majority of people don't like something, still it doesn't make it bad. How to put it? Yeah, because. Let's put it this way. Yeah, there are. You can write something that doesn't make sense. That if in a technical term it makes it bad, but still it could be. People could like it. Like I said, Tommy Wiseau's The Room. People enjoy it because the way it is done, the way. You can read something that is boring, but there are still people out there who think otherwise. There are so many examples out there that I will say. One example, just to get it, a lot of people like Neon Genesis Evangelion. I personally don't like it. I personally think that's a bad series. It's a bad story. There are, again, just from my personal, I personally think the characters are bad. I think the story is just too much. I know what they did, and I really, on the other hand, I really say that I really can understand that why people like it. The idea with the fights, the idea of these more, how to put it, God story about this, the religion kind of story, creation story. It's not bad. It's really not bad, and I think the creator has so many ideas behind it, but I personally think it's boring as hell. And has so many problems. But again, you're talking with someone who, on the other side, has some other stories he absolutely enjoy. What do I mean with that? If I look behind me, there are some stories that other people think I'm bad. I personally absolutely love Mad Lax. Because of the way it's written, it's an absolute. It makes, if I'm honest, it makes not so much sense, and a lot of people are getting lost when they start watching that series. But I personally absolutely enjoy it. I love noir. A lot of people don't like this series, but yeah, I personally really love that one, and so every story out there is every book written, every movie created is just for someone else. It's not, even if it's not for you, it is for some, it was created for someone out there. So yeah, even if I don't like it, I never will say there are bad things, that's bad stuff. It's just not, it was never created for me, so I will never talk about this in public anymore. I just wanted to get that out. Like I said, but again, I don't say I don't hate every mainstream comic, just to get it out. There are some I really enjoy out there, especially mainstream comics. But yeah, I'm just not the fan of the overall things out there. Yeah, it's just every different people, different tastes, different views on things out there. So again, to all the creators out there, create what you like. Do it the way you think it's right. If you try to create, if you try or start writing a story about a character that is already out there, do it. Don't let the people say like me what not to do or what to do. Just do it. And I have really a lot of respect what you're doing. Even if I say at the end I don't like it, it doesn't mean you did a bad job. It just means I personally, it's not my cup of tea. So just before someone tells me otherwise, in so many ways. But this brings me to just because I was talking about series at the moment, and anime just as an example, what people like and not like. This brings me to another kind of fun side story at the moment. I think this is also something a lot of people might know and also had their fair share with, or at least know people in this case where this happened. I love it when you talk with someone who isn't a fan of comics or animation movies or series. One thing I think everyone has encountered today in this day and age was that a lot of people will tell you that, or you mostly you will get something like animations or comics are for kids. I really believe a lot of people can tell you, or can at least find one or two persons where there or situations where they have heard this this kind of talk or speak. And why I'm bringing that up is, ask these people what kind of movies or stories they like, and go a little bit deeper. I guarantee you, a lot of these people who say, if you say animation films are just for kids, or comics are just for kids, and so on, I will guarantee you, I bet with you for that, they will have at least 2 or 3 movies in their head from Pixar or some other animation studio, Sony, or some old Disney movies that they absolutely love and watch every time when it's on TV. I guarantee you that. I know some people who really, I'm not kidding. I have someone who loves who likes who likes the old Godzilla films, or not the newer ones, but he watches all the Godzilla movies he can get, and also like the first oh my god! Now the name is Starship Troopers. Now, let's start with the last one, with Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers is the Paul Verhoeven one. I still love that film, that movie. It's not a great movie. I will admit that. but it's still a lot of fun. Even today, watching it, I think it's a lot of fun. The other movies, I think two Marauders and so on. These were, yeah, I didn't like them. Again, they maybe not for me. Maybe people liked them. They weren't for me. Let's put it this way. But I really enjoyed the animated movies. I thought they were great. I really enjoyed them. They not only looked the part, but I really thought they were interesting and fun enough to watch. I said to this person, yeah, you know what? There are good follow-ups of Starship Troopers out there. And first, this person was interested. Until he heard that they were, yeah, animation or animated movies. The first thing was, yeah, no thanks. Kids stuff and so on. Even after I've told him, yeah, you know, there aren't kids stuff. They are 16 and above. They are adult movies. Yeah, no chance. Still the same talk about, yeah, even if they are adult movies, they are animated. They are kids movies. Something I don't watch. I don't like kids movies. Interestingly, the same was with the Godzilla, the new Godzilla movie on Netflix. Personally, I think it wasn't a bad movie. It was different, but it was an interesting take on it, and I really believe that this person might have enjoyed this movie. So I said, you know what? There is a Godzilla movie out there. You might check out. We have Netflix. Maybe take a look at it. Yeah, okay, I will take a look at it. Then he said, yeah, but that's animated. And I said, yes, it's an animated movie. Yeah, no thanks. Kid stuff. I don't want to watch that. And again, I said, yeah, but you're missing something out. I really highly recommend checking that one out. Even if it's kids in your eyes, kid stuff. Yeah, check that one out. Nah, I don't want it. You're lost in so many cases. And yeah, and this is something following so many times. I had another family member where this changed after I showed that person some anime and had said, okay, now listen up. I know you're normally not watching these things, but take a look. I guarantee you love them. And yeah, this person loved the series I showed her. The one was Ghost Hunt, I think was the name, and the other one was one of my absolutely favorite, Steins Gate. And really, they enjoyed these. She enjoyed these series. But to come to the main part, where I wanted to go with this one. Now, the other person with the Starship Troopers and the like I said, the Godzilla movie, said everything was animated. I don't watch animated stuff. It's all kid stuff. I don't want to count the times when I saw them and they watched some Pixar movies, some Disney movies, and I'm not only talking about the big name ones. And in this case, the movies weren't kid stuff. Now, before you start again trying to rip my head off, I'm not saying they are kid stuff. I'm just saying these movies. It's very interesting that in this case, movies that are designed for the whole family aren't kid movies, but movies who are designed especially for adults are kid movies. I never got that logic. But it's, yeah, everyone has a different, like I said, again, everyone has a different view. But these people, sometimes these people who have this idea really miss out on so many really interesting stories and movies, just because they think a graphic novel or something, because you read a picture book in so many ways, because they think that means that's kid stuff. No, I never would give a young child a book like the League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen, or Watchmen. I mean, these are I never would give a child these books. I mean, you can do it if you want to give them nightmares. Don't get me wrong, but then I would have problems. Then I would say, what kind of parent are you, if you give them that? But yeah, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, like I said, it's a very interesting thing, and it's really, you have to, if you have time, really get these people, ask these people what they really enjoy, what they watch, and you really will be surprised to find out that on one hand they really say to you that these kind of stories, these kind of books, these kind of movies are kid stuff, and on the other hand they will tell you that they watch something like Madagascar or something like that. Again, I'm not saying these movies are kid stuff. They are family movies, but yeah. Why are these movies not kids movies and adult movies are kids movies? I don't get this logic. Maybe I'm just dumb. So many people tell me I'm dumb. So yeah, maybe that's just the reason. But yeah, that's I think I will never. This is something I will never get. But it's always fun seeing people or just thinking about it in so many ways, even if it's just a very idiotic idea to waste time. Something what I said at the beginning of this video. But yeah, these are things I'm really thinking about. I'm really wasting my time. I mean, let's face it. I'm now really talking about comics, about how I think, or why I think bad is not bad, etc. I'm talking about nearly an hour. I'm building a Lego kit here. I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting your time if you're watching this. But yeah, it's just me. I'm just a freak, and you know what? I love being a freak. I love being myself, even if a lot of people hate how I am. But I'm just me. Let's face it. This is myself, and I can live with it if people think that I'm just a kind of crazy person. I mean, I'm not a crazy cat person. I hate cats, but that's another. Okay, I don't hate cats, but I don't like cats. Not in the sense that I will. I would. How to put it? Get pissed off by them. No, if someone has cats, I am an animal lover, but cats are some kind of crazy. How to put it? Some kind of crazy creature. I think they have the same mindset like me. So we don't get. I think we don't get along over long periods of time. Yeah, no, just joking. I really I love every animals. I have no problems with them. Just before angry cat lovers start sending me messages, you cat hating person. I am not hating cats. I don't hate any kind of animals. Okay, I don't like spiders, but that's a totally other topic. Yeah, I have arachnophobia, so I think that's a little bit different kind of situation. God, I like I said, I think I must look like a total idiot, a total I'm an absolutely crazy person. A lot of people told me that after my writing experiment, where I started or tried to write my my short story. I'm not just I'm just a dumb person. I admit it. Yeah, a lot of people think I should get checked, but you know what? I think being a dumb person is the best method to survive the whole the whole world today, and not just falling down. It's just, I don't know. Living in today's world is just it's just tragedy. It's not my. Or I'm not. I think I wouldn't survive too long in the world today if I would just. I really try to not think about too many things, but still, I'm overthinking too much today, and this would give me more problems. If I constantly think about everything that's going on, I wouldn't survive it. I know that. So sorry for just talking so many crazy stuff. It's I just enjoy talking about dumb stuff in so many ways. Even if a lot of people don't like to listen to people. But I'm just the kind of crazy person on the net, and I enjoy it. Like I said, I just enjoy talking about stuff that is going on, or just on my mind. You can. The problem is mostly try to find some people who have nearly the same idea than you, and you will see so many people out there that are. It's really hard to find people you can talk about the same things day and night. But this brings me to a nice to an interesting discovery I made just a while ago. I have some friends, even if some people don't believe me. Yes, I have friends in real life. I'm not just someone, this guy on the internet who tries to only be on the internet. No, and the best part is I have two groups of friends, and the funny part about these two groups can't be any more different. It's really it's it's absolutely amazing. On the one hand, I have a group of friends. Really, this is the group I know the longest. These people are my PC gamer friends. I will call them this way, because I know them since school, and we came together because we all love playing video games. We all love playing PC, and I have still contact with them, and we still try to get to play together some online games and so on. And the fun part is, I have another group of friends, nearly exact the same size, and they're the total opposite. And not only the total opposite in this case, that they are how to put it, that they are console players, But the fun part about that, even if this is the first part that's different, the next part is my group of PC gamer friends. We all are single. The whole group of my console player games are all married. It's really crazy. I have one in my friends list that is married and is PC gamer, and on the other hand, I have only one person who isn't married and has no and is single in the console group. So yeah, it's sometimes you really it's sometimes really fun just thinking about what you're doing and where your life takes some very strange turns. And this was a very interesting turn of events to think about it. Yeah, I know it's something that everyone will understand, but it's a fun thing to think about in so many ways. Yeah, I know, not for you. If someone is even watching this after an hour now, I mean, let's face it. Who thinks about this one? There's someone on the web who just really talks about everything it's on his mind, building Lego, like I said, and doing nothing else. Yeah. My life took a very, very strange turn, but I enjoy these. I enjoy these kind of things. Just yeah, people tell me my other videos were a waste of time, very boring. So yeah, why not? So let's waste a lot of time in this case. but no, I really enjoy these. Doing this and yeah, I even enjoy doing these videos, building these Lego kits, even if I don't show all of these complete installations what I did. I mean, I started building my last video. I started building the truck of this model or the set. Yeah, you can see it's already finished in this case, already working. This is the first part of the trailer I'm building. Yeah, I really love building these things, even if I don't show you every part, but it's just so amazingly fun doing these. I mean, I didn't build them for such a long time, and a lot of people, a lot of my friends do build little Lego kits, but now mostly of them are fans of Star Wars and collect these things. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they're fun to build, but if you're a Star Wars fan, then I believe it's not really something you really might enjoy. Maybe I could be wrong, so don't get me don't put that on my list. But personally, I don't know. I've checked out these Star Wars kits, but there was not one except maybe the really big ones that really, like the Millennium Falcon or the Star Destroyer. Or also the I think there is a Death Star out there, if I recall correctly, but they're really expensive. Not saying these kits aren't expensive, but yeah, they didn't do it for me when I saw them, and so I really didn't expect building these kits in some way. But yeah, it came differently because I saw two kits that really interested me, or let's say I saw four kits that really interested me. One was this Mac Anthem one with this whole trailer part. The other one was a Porsche GT. I think GTR. I have it back by me. Yeah, GT3 RS. One of the biggest kits I have seen, and many people say that's a really great build. Really looking forward building it, but it just arrived a few days ago. But I still have to build this and this one. And the last model I built was this Air Race jet. One I wasn't really sure. I'm honest with you, because it looked very strange. But when you have built it, it's a really fantastic little build. I really really was amazed how it looked. And yeah, it was amazingly fun doing these kits. And so yeah, it's the first kit. And yeah, now I'm still building them, and I hope there will be a lot more I will find. At the moment I'm looking, but yeah, they don't have that much big ones. I really think that look great. This Mac Anthem one, like I said, really interested me, so I bought it, and I'm really liking it so far. Even if the doors, the problem, the doors are just put in at the bottom, so not everywhere here, not up here, so they look a little bit loose, but it works. So it's really interesting technic kit if you're into these, and I really love cars and machines. It's just, yeah, it's just me. So yeah, and the other ones I'm really looking forward maybe to build one day are the there's one rally car, a white blue one, I think, that I think looks great, and there is an all-terrain vehicle with not with normal wheels, but with threads. Looks also one I think looks amazing in many ways. But yeah, at the moment I have some other kits I have to build, and yeah, let's wait how they come out. But yeah, I'm really I'm honest with you again. If you have some time to spare, and think, yeah, is there something I can do to not only sit in front of my computer and just relax? I would say check out Lego. Because I think a lot of people go if they think to tinker with something, and I just need to tinker a lot of it. I always have to work with something with my hand, or do something with my hands. And a lot of people, I think a lot of people don't know what to do. And I can just tell you one thing. I really would check out Lego models, just for the reason that it might be something you really enjoy doing. They are easy to build. I mean, you have like every model kit, you get your you get a really sometimes big, sometimes small books where how to build them, and yeah, but everyone can build these. Sometimes they're a little bit fiddly, like these bigger models, but even the small models are really great, interesting to build. You need the space to show them off, so don't be fooled if you start with them. You really should look if you have some place to store them, also some place where you can build them over a longer time. Because the plane I built, it took me only 2 days, but I built them I took the whole day to build that one, and this one. Don't underestimate. It had over 1,200 parts. This one has nearly 2,500 parts with everything. And even if I have the trailer, there is this is only one part of the trailer. There is another part here. Or let's put it this way: the truck itself were three or four parts. You had the back part. You had the front part to build. You had the whole carrossery to build. And the whole motor, the whole front bit was you build it. You build the motor of it, but the everything else was another part of it. And so yeah, I'm just building this one, and there is still a really big part here. I don't know if you can hear it. And still behind me is also again just another box with another part. But I think the last part is just the container. You can pull out there. The next part is more the crane system from this trailer. So there's still a lot to do with this one. And yeah, if you have not that much time, only 1 or 2 hours to spare a day, I would say we will sit for quite some time on these big models. So don't underestimate it, and have a place you can put these things, because if it's it will be taking a lot of space for quite some time if you are going for the big ones. Just just keep that in mind in so many ways. But yeah, coming back, I think if you're really interested in these kits, I think the Lego ones, the Lego Technic ones, are really great way to have some fun in this case. So yeah, definitive, like I said, check them out. Sorry for the jump cut. Just someone entered the room. Where I'm sitting in the room directly through. If you want to get the garbage out, it's the second way out of the house, so to speak. Yeah. But what I wanted to say is, I would really, if you have some time to spare, especially if you're someone who has kids, I think this is a great way to spend with them, the younger, even older ones, if they're interested in something like this, because like I said, this is something you really can put some time into it, and I really think a lot of people or just to bond, because helping each other out, and let's face it, this manual, I'm on page over 300, and with over 2,000 parts, it's kind of like a puzzle. I mean, the puzzle, you can only find the right pieces. It's the same here, but you have a manual how to build it. It's really something fun. Even if you don't take a Lego, you don't have to take a Lego build, but just building something in general is very satisfying, especially if at the end you look at it, and the end product, or how the end result really looks. It's really satisfying. And for a while I didn't do it. I think the last really model kit I built was over 15 years ago, and I'm not talking about really not only Lego kits, but overall kits. And yeah, this is something really I really highly recommend this. If you really want to just have some fun, do something else a little bit, and just relax. Even if you sometimes just can't find this one specific piece you're searching for, it's still something I really enjoy, and it's really, like I said, it's really a relaxing to do this. And I know a lot of people say they can't understand that. They think it's how can something like this really be relaxing? It is just, believe me, it's hard to explain, but you just concentrate on building something, and especially if these builds have some special features, like the Lego Technic ones with its moving parts, or just some fun bits in them. It's always fun, and even later. I know if you hear me saying that, as someone who normally just plays video games and so on, this is something really hard to explain. But if you ever started something like this, I would say you can make a test. You can get very small model kits, Lego ones, really plastic inject model kits, and so on, from so many different types, so many different sizes. I would say just check them out, just try them out for yourself. You really will be surprised how much fun you can have already with the small ones, and at some point, you believe me when I say that you will come back for the bigger ones, because you want, you maybe get this this feeling that you want to do something bigger, you want to see something more, and seeing these builds slowly becoming or coming together. It's just an amazing feeling. I know this is just one example. There are so many other things you can do. I know someone who loves baking, loves cooking to do that. Just having fun with that. And again, just in a world today where we all just always look on our smartphones and so on. It's yeah, I really would say do yourself a favor. Check out something other than only your normal activity. Find something very different. Just do something else, and not only staring on your smartphone, and not only being. Again, I know how this sounds, but it would help. It would help a lot if people will just get a little bit more, just find another hobby to relax more. And I also believe that a lot of people would be more how to put it, not so angry, let's put it this way, overall, if they had something where they could concentrate and not put all their anger out. Some people draw, some people do something else, but just find something to just relax a little bit. Find something, and I think, like I said, it helps a lot. For me, I have so many problems, so much energy that I have. Let's put it this way: there's so many things I really could talk about my work, and I'm just so many times I just could throw everything against the wall, but I don't do it because I have something. I come home. I just sometimes I do these recordings. Sometimes I'm just sitting there, have my tablet, my laptop up there, just watching some YouTube videos. Sometimes just Netflix, sometimes DVD, Blu-ray, and just relax doing this one. Just putting my work, all the problems I have, just to the side, and just concentrate on this small little thing I'm doing and working, and just having fun with this. And like I said, there are so many other things you can do. Don't it's not that this is the only way, it's just one way. It's just one thing I recommend trying out, but I'm not saying this is the only one you can check out. It's just the one I have chosen for me, and I'm happy that I found this small or that I came back to the Lego kits. And there's so many things out there you can find, even in the model kit scene, that are just fun trying out. And yeah, this is just yeah, I'm just happy fiddling a little bit around, and not only playing with my, when I'm sitting in front of the computer with my what was it, yeah, with my fidget cubes. So that's what the name was I was searching for. Sorry. Yeah, I just love fiddling around, and this is something. Like I said, I can fiddle around with it. I have fun seeing everything together, and yeah, just knowing there's something that in the end might be something that really looks great. And here we are at the end of the first part, the first trailer of the truck I'm building. Took me over an hour to just build this small part, so you have an idea of how many hours I sat there to build this little thing here. But yeah, I just put this one out of frame and can just show you this one a little bit more. So just for you have an idea. It's really a great kit, and seeing these models coming up. Yeah, you can open the motor. You can see how this is working. I hope this is. I hope you can see it on everything. It's really great. Yeah, like I said, the door is open. You can see the parts inside. Sadly, you can't see the bed on the back. But yeah, it's a really nice model. It already looked really great on the pictures. When I first saw it, this was the reason why I wanted to build it, and it's really amazing, and I really love how big this model really is. I don't think I can get the whole model in frame. Don't know if I have to open that one. Yeah, I don't get that. I can't get the whole thing in frame. It's nearly yeah, it's nearly a meter long, and still there's the whole crane part I have to build of the trailer. There's the whole container part I have to build. But this is for another day. Maybe I do it again when not on camera. Maybe I do it when I have another thing I can talk about. I don't know, but yeah, I hope I didn't bore you too much, but I know a lot of people say my videos are boring, so yeah, this is one thing I still do, and will do. Yeah, it's just me talking, and like I said, most of these videos are just about giving my my ideas, what I'm thinking about, and nothing really more. And yeah, a lot of people said yeah, I'm not someone who can do this, but who knows? Maybe some people watch these and think about, and yeah, I might do another one where I'll talk a little bit more about some other stuff coming up. I don't know. Like I said, it could be that you see me building this thing, continue building this thing. It could be that you see me building something else. It could be seeing me building the Porsche. Still don't know. But yeah, let's see. I will continue with these videos, but yeah, for today this overly long one has to end in so many ways. So yeah, thanks for watching if you're still there, and see you next time. Bye.